Hello and welcome. My name is Sullosian and this is Skywanderers. So, the reason you're watching this is because you are just beginning the game and you want to know how to play. It's pretty straightforward, but some people need a bit of help to get along to start off, and I intend to help with that in this set of tutorial videos that I will be making. So, you've just loaded the game up, you are confronted with the Skywanderers title screen, you will have the version in the bottom right corner, and you'll have the three options: play, options, and quick game. So first thing you want to do, instead of going to play, is go to options, and then go into game, and play customization. Now what you want to do is set up your character as you want to. In my case, I'm Sullosian. I think I'll keep the Dave head, some swacky hair, and the Imperial uniform sort of set of clothing. You can customize this to whatever you want, and after you've done that, just press done, and done, and done. Moving on, next you want to press play. Then you move into single player if you're playing single player, or multiplayer if you're playing with someone else. But first time, I recommend playing single player. So you go to create a new character, and you name your character or the world whatever you want. In my case, Sullosian. At the moment there's only creative mode, so don't bother really trying to change that, nothing else to choose. And then after that, you click play with this character. Okay, here we are. Now this isn't what you're going to see when you first start. You'll be going through a set of tutorials that will teach you how to play the game. But if you're watching this, you've maybe missed those, or you just want to know how to play the game before you actually get the game. So this is how we will be. We will be in this hangar bay of sorts, and we will be learning how to play the game here. So first things first, you use W, A, S and D to move, just like any other game. And instead of other games, this game uses Q to go down and E to go up. So that may take a little bit of getting used to, but it is intuitive and it does work quite well. You will be surprised. Other things to know would be press tab to open your inventory, and this is what you'll get. You can use your mouse to select whichever one you want, and you can simply drag it down to your hotbar here, or you can select the one you want and press spacebar, which will send it straight down. If you want it in a specific slot on your hotbar, say number 9, you select it and you press the respective number key, so number 9 key. That's how you can simply move stuff to your hotbar pretty easily. To get rid of things, you open your inventory with tab and you just drag it off. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. The game has got a few issues. Jumping into building, what I like to do is I like to have an entire set of blocks available for me to use, but I personally like to use this whole block here. So, building, simple as right clicking to place a block and holding left click to break it. If you want to break a block quicker, you can hold the left shift key and then click it, which will instant delete it. If you want to build more at a time, you hold down right click, which will bring up a bit of a HUD, which will show you what you're looking at. You press Control and then move in the direction you want it to build, and that's how you can build a strip of blocks. If you want to build an even bigger strip of blocks, you can hold right click, press Control once, move along, press Control again, and it will move in a different plane. That's how you can build a platform somewhat easily. If you're not happy with something that you've built, you can press Control and Z to delete it, which will undo the action. However, redoing at the moment is a bit of a mess, and it's probably safer not to undo anything that you don't want to get rid of. Furthering on the block placement mechanics, if you have a block such as a triangle shaped block, you can grab these easily by going to what sort of block you want, usually just the square ones, the cubes, and then you go to the second type, and that's where you'll get your triangular shaped one. So it's fairly straightforward about grabbing the different blocks that you want, but actually placing them can be a little bit different. So it's a little bit like Minecraft, how you place in the direction that you're looking at. So if I place closest to this edge here, it's going to place like that. But if I place closer to that edge there, it's going to place like that. Now, if you don't want to be doing that, you can simply hold right click when you're about to place it, and then you can see sort of like an angle set of arrows there, and they will determine which angle that you place them at. But if you don't want to place them like that, just sort of rotating in that direction, you can also use the scroll wheel to change the plane that you're actually placing it on. So then I can choose like that, I can place an upside down one, and I can use the scroll wheel again to change it again. And you can just keep on using the scroll wheel to change which way to place the block, like so. If you would like to change the toolbar that you've currently got selected, you can press tab, and you can go between the 4 different toolbars you get. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, as you can see there. Or if you'd like to do it without going into your inventory, you hold down the left shift and you use your scroll wheel, as you can see, like so. So you're in a bit of a dark area. You can't see so well, you want to be building, but it's just a bit dark. You need to press the L key to bring up your flashlight, which will make things a little bit easier to look around. So here's what you need to know to make things a lot easier and better for your experience playing the game overall. Press F1 to save, press F2 to remove your HUD, which will be good for taking pictures. However, the block that you are holding will stay in your hand. So if you don't want that to be in your picture, change to an empty slot, then press F2, and now you don't have anything in the way, and you can take screenshots with F12. If you would like to go into third person, you can press F4, which will bring you into third person like so. This also works in ships and vehicles. Press F4 to return to normal view. If you somehow get away from this torus ring here, you can simply press F7 to bring up the teleportation menu. The torus is what we are currently on, however the teleport to get to here is up there in the middle of the ring. So if you go flying away and you need to get back here, press F7, go to the torus, and here you are. Do you feel that you're moving too slow? Well, there's an easy fix for that. You simply press the left and right square brackets. The left square bracket will slow down your speed, like so, and the right square bracket will speed you up. Pressing the right square bracket many times will make you go much faster. However, this means that going at high speeds, you can also clip through the world. You can use this to easily get inside of a ship that you are building, but it can be a bit of a mess to deal with. So usually just keep yourself at a speed which is comfortable for you, and if you need to clip through something, speed yourself up for a little bit, go through what you need to go through, and then slow yourself back down. This one isn't going to be for most builders, but if you ever feel like you don't want to get all these sort of lighting effects that you've got, maybe the game's lagging for you a bit much, you press F9 and that will change all the lighting so it's no longer dynamic. You will still get the light from the sun and the natural shadow casting, but these lights here that you can place yourself, these will no longer emit light. So you've teleported off the world and you've just come back here and you're no longer really in alignment with everything. Some things seem a little bit off alignment. You could be at an angle, you could be floating on the wrong plane of existence. Just double tap Q and that will realign you with the world that you were closest to. In this case, the torus. If you need to enter a mech of some kind, such as this one right here, it's usually got the purple box around it, and if that is so, then you press F to get into it. As you can see, we've now gotten into it, and you can also see that these two control sticks have a purple box, which means they also require pressing F to enter. Pressing F will allow you to enter them, and you can now control the vehicle. Pressing F again will disengage you from the first set. Pressing F again will disengage you from the other set, which was, in our case, the seat. Should you ever need to activate a button, you simply look at the button and you press right click. So, this is involving logic and just some of the basics behind logic. So, first things first, if you are building with logic, they are considered bricks and not blocks. Bricks are required to be placed on a panel or anything that brings up a stud menu like so. These studs are what allow you to place bricks on them, and all logic and buttons and things related to logic are generally a brick. In order to place a brick, you simply look where you want to place it, and you right click. If you want it to place in a different direction, you can simply right click and hold the right click in one go, and then you get the different planes that you can place it on, like so. Blue is input and red is output. This is known as a dual link gate, this one, and to simply connect the output to something, you can connect it to an input or another output. Don't connect it to another output. There's not really a point in doing that at this point in the game. Connect it to another input to link it to that. Now, if I were to activate this input, it would also activate this input here. Moving on, if we want to activate things via a button, you can place a button like so, hold right click, and drag the link to an input. This is a laser unit, which is basically a turret. You can place that on a brick studded area, and you can simply drag the output from one of these dual link gates to the turret. Pressing the button will fire this now. We simply have the button linked to the blue input, the output of this one linked to this input, and then the output of this one linked to there. You can see the links of things by looking at where it first starts. In our case, the button. You can see that it is linked to the blue input, and then from the first red output to the next blue input, and then the second red output to the laser. If you want to disengage a link without breaking an actual block, you simply hold shift and right click, which will bring up these little icons. You can either click on this one here, the eye, which will allow you to name the button. We're actually looking at it from the wrong way at the moment, but in our case we can just say button, and we'll just go around the right way so you can see it, and there it is. When you look at it, it will show button. But if you want to disconnect a link, you hold shift and you right click, and then you just click this sort of recycle button, and that will disengage the link between the button and that blue input there, and you can now re-link this to whatever you want. In our case, we'll just link it to the turret. We can now shoot the turret from just this button instead of going through these logic gates. Without going further too much into logic, we will be covering the end of our video with basic controls for spaceships. So, you've got a spaceship. There are some in the starting area which you have access to, and this is the one that I'm going to be using. So you press F to get into your seat, and then you can press F again to get into the control stick of the vehicle. As you can see, the heads-up display has changed a little bit. You now have 3 text-based icons in the bottom corner: Hype, Standard, and Maneuver. So we're currently in standard mode, but what you want to do is press left Alt, which will move you down to Maneuver. Depending on the speed you're going depends on which direction those square brackets will go. So because I'm not moving, I can go between Maneuver and Standard right now. But you have to be going at maximum speed of 100 meters per second in order to gain access to the hyper menu. Moving into maneuver mode, you use C and spacebar to go up and down. You cannot go up and down in standard maneuvering mode. Maneuver mode is what you need to go up and down. C and spacebar. Pressing left Alt again puts us into standard, and you can press left click to go forward, which will increase your speed, and hold right click to slow down. As you can see, the throttle in the corner with the maneuver standard and height bar will go up and down depending on your speed. If I keep on holding left click, we will keep on gaining speed, but we're going to want to go up or down now. W and S will go up and down, Q and E will go left and right, and A and D will roll your ship. If you want to go fast enough to enter hyperspace, which we won't cover in this video, but I'll just explain it now, As you can see, we are now going 100 meters per second, and the green hyperspace text is now green, which means you can enter it by pressing the left Alt key. And then it's a matter of activating your hyperdrive and then entering hyperspace, which you can see in the 0% bar. Hopefully this video has covered everything you need to know about starting the game. If I've missed anything and you want to know how to do something, let me know, leave a comment, and I will tell you how to do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.